Hi, everybody. I know I'm so inconsistent with videos. I haven't been here in a long time and I should start being more consistent. But yeah, I'm not good with consistency, but I'm trying to be a lot better. And I'm not good at editing videos. So if you come here to see like quality editing, you are in the wrong place. So I'll just say that right now. But yeah, you know what? I just wanted to say I love reading everybody's comments on all of like my past videos I've done. It's interesting because a lot of people they keep calling me white and like whitewashed. And I'm just here to tell you first off, I'm a black woman. Thank you so much. I know it's hard to believe. Like black people have done that to me my entire life. Um, Apparently, if you don't talk with slang, they think you're not black. My black card has been taken probably hundreds of times, honestly. But, you calling me white is not an insult. You're not insulting me by calling me white. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not a white girl. But even if I was, you guys are completely obsessed with whiteness. So the fact that you think that's an insult, it makes me laugh. Okay? It's the fact that you guys think a black woman saying that, a light skinned man is more attractive or more masculine than a dark skinned black man, that must mean that she is a white woman, as if black women can't find light skinned men attractive and masculine and have a preference for them. Yeah, like I don't really care about your insults and it doesn't bother me. I'm not worried about that. It doesn't make me sad, and you're not affecting me. I'm sure some of you guys think it's affecting me. It doesn't affect me. You know what? I also have to address some of these comments I've been seeing that say, because I have stated several times I like light-skinned men. Apparently, that means that I have been heartbroken by dark-skinned men. And first off, that's not true. I'll tell you why it's not true. Because I have dated more light-skinned men in my life, right? In my real life, I have messed with way more light-skinned men. And yeah, so you guys can stop with the lies. And I mean, this is a little embarrassing, but if I'm being completely honest, I have had my heart broken by more light-skinned men than anything. So, you saying that it doesn't bother me and doesn't affect me. I don't know why you got, like, the black community thinks it's weird for a black woman to find a light-skinned man attractive. You guys think it's strange, right? If I was a black man making these videos, right, for my love of light-skinned women, you guys would not have a problem because it's normalized in our community. Somebody needs to tell me why I can't date a light-skinned man, right? Like if anybody wants to date a skin tone that's different than theirs, it doesn't mean that they are colorist and it doesn't mean that they hate themselves. I mean, that goes for black men too, right? Who love light-skinned women but are somehow jealous of light-skinned men. Okay, that doesn't like necessarily mean, I don't know, I don't know. I mean, does that mean he wouldn't like light skin? No, yeah. You know what? Listen, it's fine to like other skin tones. Like, I don't want to hear your mouth. Stay out of my comments crying and calling me white and calling me whitewashed. Like, this community is strange. Okay? So, yeah. I don't know. And you guys have been saying that I'm starting like a color war in the black community. I'm here to tell you, there's already a skin tone war in our community. So that's interesting. It's already been something in this community. We've already had colorism in this community, and I personally think that a black woman who is suffering colorism at the hands of a dark-skinned black man, maybe you should try, I don't know, dating another group, right? Maybe you should try being colorist back. Did you ever think about that? Why don't you be colorist back? Why don't you date other, like, I don't know, I just didn't want to go on this tangent. Like, I had my video idea already thought out of, and now I'm full on going into a tangent. But me personally, girl, like, I could never look on the internet all day, every day, and in real life and see black men degrading a certain skin tone, but then like still obsessing over that dark-skinned black man. And I know, because someone's gonna say it, I understand there are light-skinned men who are colorist. Okay, I get that. But until I see light-skinned men on the internet all day, every day for years, and in my real life being colorist towards my face, until I see that, that's what I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna stick with that because that's what I've been sticking with, and that's just the group that I like. I don't care if you're upset. Okay? You know, you have some black women who prefer white men, and that's perfectly fine, right? Personally, like, I'm not interested in a white man. I don't have like anything against them. Like, I've dated some of them, but I am the least interested in white men. Absolutely not, babe. I'd rather date like a light-skinned guy, whether he is black or biracial. I have to always make that separation. God, or even like an Asian guy, Hispanic, girl, anybody but a white man. I'm cool on that. And I think it's weird that a lot of divested women want black women to date white men, but when I'm like, but then they're like, date white men, then I'm like, okay. And then they'll say that like biracial black men are not black. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stick to that group. And they're like, no, they're not black. Like, don't date them. I'm like, but I thought if you're divested and you don't consider biracial men to be black, then that is me dating outside of my race, isn't it? Like, I don't understand. There's a lot of things I don't get in this community. It's very strange. Yeah. I hope my video today like doesn't offend people. I know that it will. You know, I feel like there's probably tens of thousands of videos talking about dark-skinned women and comparing them to light-skinned women. So I'm not sure why, you know, it's like when you take that topic and you like flip it and you talk about dark-skinned men and light-skinned men, people get very offended. I don't know why. Somebody needs to explain that to me, but you're gonna get mad. I don't really care. Or maybe nobody will watch this video because I haven't made videos in a long time, but I don't know, I'm gonna be hopeful. But yeah, you know, according to what I have experienced in real life and some things I've seen online, I don't care. I will say it. It seems as though some dark-skinned black men are very jealous of light-skinned men. And I wonder why no one ever talks about it. I don't know. It's interesting. There's this challenge right now on TikTok. It's like a video trend, right? It's called the light skin challenge. And it's like you put this filter on. I think it's a makeup filter, but they're calling it the light skin challenge. I think it's called the bold glamour filter. And they've been doing it all over TikTok. And I don't know, it's so interesting. It's like, it's a lot of black men claiming to, you know, they put on this filter and they are somehow all of a sudden like turning into a light-skinned man. Which is interesting because, I mean, it's like you're stereotyping them, right? It's like you're feeding into that stereotype. And I feel like a lot of light-skinned men are I feel like they're being conditioned, right, to feed into that stereotype, especially on TikTok. I don't know if it's for clicks and views. It seems like it is, but it's interesting they would feed into such a negative stereotype, right? I mean, it's a makeup filter. It's for women. So it's interesting. But yeah. This video is really about the fact that I don't care if you're mad. I feel like dark-skinned black men are incredibly jealous, and I'll keep saying it, of light-skinned men, biracial men. I feel like every time in my real life, right, when I have gone out with a light-skinned man, I'm dating a light-skinned guy, it is always a dark-skinned man who is giving me like a little bit of heat for it. Now, online, when I make my preferences known, it's a lot of black women coming at me, but like in real life, the group that gets the most upset is black men, which is interesting because I thought, from what it seems like, black men have made it known that light skin is better. But when you take that same narrative and you say, okay, well, yeah, I think light skin is good, I'm gonna mess with the light skinned man. Apparently, it's a bit of a problem. But yeah. So, you can really go on any corner of the internet and you can see black men making jokes about light-skinned men and calling them soft and feminine, pretty boys. I've even seen, I think they say weak. Weak is when they're like weak, like not masculine. I've seen that a lot, which is weird because, like I've said it before, I mostly see black men on the internet dressed up like women and wearing makeup and fake hair. So I would think that would be the most feminine, but apparently it's not. I don't know how a skin tone could make you feminine. I don't know, it's weird. It's like, nobody else has put that together? How black men love light-skinned women and that's beautiful and perfect, but when it comes to the men, he's like a weak, pretty boy. How does that add up? It's like no one has questioned that. Like we've all just kind of, I'll say not me, but it seems like everybody else has kind of fed into that. A skin tone doesn't make you feminine and it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you any of those negative stereotypes. So yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, I was on this website. It's called, and I don't go on this website all the time because I swear it's so freaking toxic. It's like you can't go on there all the time. It's like once every like 3 to 4 months. This shit is toxic. Like I try to stay off of there, but I was on there a while ago, a couple weeks ago, Lipstick Alley, and I came across this post. I mean, here it is right here. Okay, it says, I know there are many men here, but do any sisters share in experiences? And she kind of wrote that weirdly. To me, I've noticed that dark-skinned guys will tear down light-skinned guys, call them pretty boys and feminine and weak. I think it stems from insecurity about themselves. And this person down here said, of course they are. They think light-skinned men get all the women, which is interesting because we know in this black community, for some reason, light-skinned men aren't getting a lot of black women. Not sure why it's like that. I'm sure they do very well in other communities, right? But for some reason, this black community keeps stereotyping them. I mean, have you seen what they say about Drake and about Steph Curry and about all those? Like, they don't really come at J. Cole like that. I'm not sure why. It's interesting. I've never seen, I'm sure it happens somewhere on the internet, but God, it's like, are they jealous? It's like you guys don't like light-skinned men. You think they're feminine. You think they're weak and soft, pretty boys, but you guys will go get a white woman pregnant to potentially create a biracial man that you're going to stereotype. That's interesting. I think what it is with black men is that they're getting white women pregnant and they're secretly hoping for a girl, right? Because I guess the boy would make him feel like, oh, that, he's better than me. I want a little girl, which is weird. I don't know why nobody talks about that. And then this one says dark-skinned men are insecure, and they're usually the ones that bring up color first. Dark-skinned men are competing with light-skinned men for the light-skinned man's woman/image. They try to emasculate light-skinned men at every turn. See, he's a soft, pretty boy, but I'm more masculine, which is BS. Definitely not true. And I guess there's this little meme down here, which I don't know who Cutting Mobley is. I don't know who that is. I know who Ben Simmons is. And I guess this is a quote. I think he's a very arrogant individual. Just watching his whole person, how he thinks he's very matter of fact. Like, I don't have to work on my jump shot for what, I'm 6'10", light skin, and can dunk the ball. I think that's a disrespect to the history of the NBA, but he's young. I'm pretty sure this guy right here has a white woman, Cutting Mobley. What kind of first name is that? Cutting? That's weird. I'm sure it's just weird. They love to create biracial men, but they somehow also don't like them. Like, what? It's weird. Yeah, it's very, very weird. And this one says, they hate to see a light-skinned man make it and pop more than them. They hate it. They hate it. I hope more light-skinned and mixed men make it and reclaim their representation. Then I will listen to black men and their tears about being liked by women. That's a funny one. It says, of course, it's true both ways. However, black men are in general are more likely to, one, deny colorism exists among black men at all, two, dismiss them as jokes, and everyone else reading too much into it. People aren't ready for certain combos, and that's okay, but it doesn't erase what I've seen or heard. Sure, you just make light-skinned jokes and memes and call light-skinned dudes soft. You put down dark-skinned black women and fetishize exoticals. That's their word, not mine. You just don't talk about it. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely say black women are a bit more vocal about colorism. I guess light-skinned men can't be very vocal. I mean, they're already seen as being, I hate to say, I don't believe it. The light-skinned men that I've dated, I have not experienced that at all. I just haven't. If anything, they've been pretty aggressive. Like, there was one guy I dated years ago. He was very aggressive, and I had to stop messing with him because he scared me just a little bit. So he was fine, though. He was doing some other stuff that, like, just made me a little nervous. I was like, I don't think so, baby. But he was fine. Anyway. All right. See, this I should have put this one up first. Okay, Lipstick Alley. This was the thread. Dark-skinned black men hate hard on light-skinned black men. You know what? I should have just went to the website and we could just go through it. But I don't want the video to be very long. Matt Barnes, who played for a long time in the NBA on numerous teams, spoke on this and said NBA players hate on Steph because he's light-skinned. Chris Broussard said the same thing, but why is it never spoken about? So we can talk about colorism all day, every day between the women, but when it comes to the men, we're just supposed to act like it doesn't happen. So it says, so why can't people hate Steph Curry? It's dishonest to suggest that it's because he's light-skinned. But they love LeBron and they love, like, Michael Jordan. The black community just likes dark-skinned men, point blank, period. Like, they don't like Steph Curry because he's like, it is what it is. I wish people would acknowledge it. Do you guys remember a couple years ago during the NBA draft when all the black men were, like, dumbfounded that there were so many biracial black men? It's like, yeah, you know, you get Becky pregnant and you encourage other black men to do it. Now they've replaced you in the NBA, and I hope it continues to happen. I hope it happens everywhere. I want to see it everywhere. It seems like it's not really happening in TV and movies, but I would love to see it happen. And this post says, I hate to say this, but you're right, OP. The most color-struck men I've met were dark-skinned men, very color-struck. We know light-skinned men can be colorist too, but I'm telling you, I have lived all over this country, okay? All over this country, and I have dated a lot of light-skinned men, and I have not ever once, maybe one time, felt insecure because of my skin tone, okay? I've dated some dark skins too, just a couple, and they always, it's strictly about color. Okay, it says, I've experienced darker brothers bring down a beautiful chocolate sister and hate on light-skinned dudes. I met multiple dark-skinned men who were jealous of light-skinned men. Can we talk about it? I think some do. They have an obsession with emasculating light-skinned men. Absolutely. This one is a long one. Exactly. I was going to mention Jeremy Meeks. Oh, he's fine. I don't get how this is debatable. Mixed race and light-skinned black men, those who look mixed are genuinely preferred. That cannot be true. No, it can't be. Because I'm telling you, I was on Facebook recently, and I just made this post in this Facebook group, and they kicked me out. I was like, we should start being colorist back. Like, why are black women always crying about colorism? You can be colorist back. Like, what's wrong? And they got so heated. They were like, that's white supremacy talk. We're not going to do that. It's like, girl, bye. I think black women like being degraded. I'm going to make a video about that one day soon. This one says, I feel like I'm reading kind of fast. Okay, this one says, yes, a lot of dark-skinned men are jealous of light-skinned men. They will never admit it, though. Some of the things I've heard them say about light-skinned men, though not as vitriolic as what they say about dark-skinned women, it's still pretty terrible. I don't know if I said that word wrong. Just bear with me, okay? I noticed that dark-skinned men are hella quick to rob a light-skinned and or mixed man of his blackness. I know, yes, they do, yet rarely do the same for light-skinned women. For example, they will foam at the mouth. If you call Drake a black man, they don't like it. It's very true. And yet will call black women jealous and bitter for saying a mixed woman is mixed. Wale tried to blame colorism for his flop career, yet happily subscribes to it by putting light-skinned women in his videos. Some dark-skinned men are some of the most insecure, self-hating dudes on the planet, which is why I don't understand why you guys prefer them. I don't get it. I've seen the jealousy towards light-skinned men here in the South. Oh my God, they're so fine in the South. I have to get back to the South. I'm in the Midwest, and I don't like it up here. All right, especially in Louisiana and Texas. Some of my light-skinned male friends from Louisiana who now live in Texas opened up to me one day how he gets treated by dark-skinned men. The only reason he opened up about it is because I asked. It was painfully obvious the hate he would get, and he was fine. Oh my God, I want to meet him. He could probably blend in with Middle Eastern men. Oh, Middle Eastern men are fine. All right, this one says, yes, they are, and of mixed men. I was currently seeing a fine olive-skinned mixed man. When I'm out with him, dark-skinned black men will glare at us the same way they glared at me and my white ex. Nobody else looks twice since we're both colored people, just black men. I am tall, dark-skinned woman, and they don't like seeing us chocolate beauties with other men that don't look like them. It's the truth. But people all saying the same thing. It is the truth. So this one says, yes, they are just not vocal or emotionally open about it. I remember when Drake was on the come up and still kind of not mainstream yet, but blowing up. The way in which dark-skinned men used to talk about him being light-skinned. Wow, of course they dismissed it all as jokes. That's a man's way of showcasing his envy or disdain. Pretty much, I'm from Canada, and I know a lot of dark-skinned men from Toronto that always seem to have issues with light-skinned guys. Dark skin may be looked at positively in the black community, but outside the black community, light is right. I've seen it before. They'll start doing some passive-aggressive shit. Like one time I was at a family gathering, and my cousin brought her man who was light-skinned with curly hair. I'm sorry. And kept calling him S-Curl and fucking with him low-key to agitate him, and then saying, I'm just fucking with you. Whenever he clearly got upset, that was nothing but jealousy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Another time I walked into a lounge with a good-looking dude who was light-skinned, and these dudes kept ice grilling him and trying to get my attention in order to piss him off. Jealousy, straight up. Really, is this what y'all like to call light-skinned dudes? Soft, sensitive, and feminine, say they look like they're dating their cousin when they date women with the same skin tone. Because dark-skinned males think light-skinned women should only date them and are jealous. You know what? And that's true. If you're light-skinned, right, you're a light-skinned man and you're a light-skinned woman, you guys don't look like your relatives if you date each other. You guys look really good together. And the only reason that is like a thing in the black community, yeah, it's because black men only want the light-skinned women to date them. But if you're a light-skinned person and you want to date another light-skinned person, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Don't let the black community trick you into thinking that's weird. It's not weird. Like, look at Queen and Clarence. They don't look like brother and sister. They look fine together. They look wonderful together. That's BS. You shouldn't even feed into that. Don't feed into it. All right. Says, really, is that what y'all like to call? Oh, I think I already read this one. Oh, here's a long one. So we all just assume dark-skinned men are secretly harboring light-skin hatred, even though we don't openly discuss it. Why? It's because y'all are trying to project your light-skin, dark-skin insecurities on us. Leave us alone. I don't believe all dark-skinned men harbor jealousy for their light-skinned counterparts, but some certainly do. A lot of black people have internalized self-hatred because we live in a white supremacist society that prizes fair skin. social media firsthand, personal anecdotes that I have read are proof enough for me. They might outright say I'm jealous of light skinned guys, and you don't have to. Meaning their actions make it obvious, going out of the way to target light skinned men, making memes. I'm telling you, y'all, depicting them as feminine. It's certainly indicative of deeper insecurity that they would never voice out loud. Absolutely. Dark skinned men who are secure and genuinely love their skin don't exhibit that kind of behavior. They are, but much more low-key about it than black women are. I think about how jealous Steph Curry's peers are of him as an example. They do talk a lot of mess about him. Yeah, some of them are still jealous of light-skinned guys. Why? Some of these people are definitely agreeing. Tommy Sotomayor, I think he's on YouTube. God. Said he used to beat up light-skinned guys when he was in school. Like, what the fuck? Angel Ramirez Jordan, oh, he's fine, has talked about being attacked because he's light-skinned. We see Charlamagne calling DJ Envy waffle-colored Negro on the Breakfast Club all the time. I don't watch that show, but I did in the past. They're insecure and have an obsession with light-skinned and Euro features. I'm obsessed. Wait, what did that say? They want their kids to come out the same way. Absolutely. Why would they like light-skinned women and not like light-skinned men unless they feel threatened by them? Come on, y'all. How come we're not talking about it? I don't know. That's all I wanted to say, really. I've experienced that in my real life. I feel like dark-skinned men, I don't care what any of you guys say, dark-skinned men are jealous of light-skinned men. Point blank, period. I'm sure there's some people in here, that are watching this video that have probably experienced the same thing, right? It's like we know about the colorism issues in regards to, the women, dark-skinned women, light-skinned women. Like, we see that all the time. Like, we've been talking about it for probably decades now. But when it comes to the men, like, come on. I've been on TikTok recently. So many dark-skinned men are dragging Drake. Like, that's, like, all their account is dedicated to, just dragging him. But then they're, like, obsessed with, like, Lotto. Completely obsessed with her. I don't know. I think it's just pure jealousy. And I feel like, I don't know, black women, you're going to keep dating men who don't like your skin tone. That's another video, honestly. But I just wanted to come over here and, like, make a quick video. Some of, like, the thoughts that have been roaming around in my head. Let me tell you something. You better not come on this video and call me whitewashed. If you call me whitewashed, I promise, okay, you and we're going to have a problem. I just think light-skinned men are more masculine. I think they're more secure in the way that they look. I think they're better fathers. I think they're better partners. They look better. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all will get upset. I don't care. I will step over the entire black community to get to a light-skinned man. I don't care. And I don't hate my skin tone. If I did, I'd be bleaching my skin tone every night. I like my skin tone. Light-skinned men look better. I don't care who disagrees. I don't care. I've dated a bunch of them. I don't think they're feminine. I don't think they're soft. I think that dark-skinned men are. Sorry to say it. It is what it is. I hope that, like, you guys look at some of these comments and maybe even go on Lipstick Alley and, I don't know, there's a lot of comments. There's, like, hundreds. I should add some more to this video. I don't know if I want to. I don't want to make this video super long. But yeah, I don't know. I have some more videos coming out. Yeah, and let me say, black women, like, if a light-skinned man comes up to you and you say you only date dark-skinned men and you could never date a light-skinned man because of this and that, like, that's like the same thing as everybody, like, crapping on dark-skinned women. Like, you're literally doing the same thing you're crying about. Like, stop trying to... I think some of y'all are trying to, like, impress dark-skinned men. Like, oh, I don't like that light-skinned pretty boy. I just want a dark-skinned man. Like, how many more years have to go by before you guys, like, get it in your head? Dark-skinned men don't want y'all, right? They like light-skinned women. They like white women. Like, let them go over there. Y'all are so embarrassing, professing your undying love for a group of men who they hate you. They don't like you. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Listen, I'm not good at making YouTube videos. Just get over it. Like, I'm not good at editing. I try my best, but yeah, you guys will be mad at me for this video. Oh well, it is what it is. I missed you guys since my last video. I love reading comments, like even if they're like a little rude. I don't know, I love them. Okay, I'm gonna make more videos soon. Bye!